Hey guys, welcome back to Rivendoah. Today's video is going to be about writing animals in fiction. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about how I want to incorporate a animal into my story of Rivendoah as a main character. So why don't you join us for the today's adventure, and we'll make a fire, cut some wood, make some coffee, and then I'll sit back and talk a little bit about animals in fiction and the writing of a character that's an animal in Rivendoah. Good boy. Got a little friend in the woods with me today. This is Andy. Yeah, come up here. Come up here. You're so sweet. Yes. Yes. This is my first introduction of Andy on Rivendoah, and he's going to be hanging out with us today. Come on, boy. He loves walking in the woods. You know, it was chilly this morning, but it's definitely warmed up this afternoon, and it looks like spring has finally sprung. We're starting to see this first signs of life popping up all around in the woods, and I, for one, am happy to see it. I am ready for some nice warm weather. Can't wait. Got a nice pile of wood here, so I think I've got enough here that we can now settle back in and go ahead and light the fire. That water is just about boiling, and when it is, I'm going to put it in this coffee and we are going to be good to go. Hey everyone. Ooh, it's getting hot here by the fire. Spring is definitely coming. Go ahead and take this off before I start in. I'm still waiting for my coffee to brew. It's coming close, and it probably won't be too much longer. And when it does, we'll sit and talk a little bit about what I want to try and do with writing a animal character into my trilogy of novels, Rivendoah. That's good. I wanted to start today's video by introducing my pack of animals. I've got Princess Leia, Maggie, which you can see here. I'm going to show you some video and some images of them. Andy, of course, who you met. I have brought him down in the woods with me today. He's running around somewhere here. And then, of course, I've got Atticus, named after Atticus Finch from To Kill a Mockingbird, one of my favorite of all-time characters. He's quite an interesting cat. He has some very interesting features. He's a bit of an old boy now, as is Maggie. Princess Leia is sort of in the middle, and Andy is the new kid on the block. He's the most energetic and probably spends the most time with me in the woods. But, you know, thinking about them has kind of got me thinking about wanting to incorporate a character in my novel that would be an animal. You know, for me, animals are an important part of my life and have been throughout most of my life. And you can take a look here at some of the different animals, or I should say furry friends, who I have been privileged to know over the years. We've got quite a few here. And of course, some have passed on. Some of my closest little furry friends over the years have passed on. But, you know, they're still here. They're still in my heart and in the hearts of my family. So, you know, it kind of got me to thinking about them. I was actually dusting the shelf off, and got me to thinking that, you know, I've almost completed the first novel, and there was no animal in my book. And, you know, as much as I love animals, I wanted to really think about maybe incorporating an animal character in Rivendoah, and was starting to think about, you know, what that would mean. And, you know, I think it's probably too late to incorporate a new character at this juncture in the first book, but the second book is going to be more of a quest. There's going to be more of traveling, and I thought, you know, a dog might be a nice companion to meet along the way, and so I really wanted to think about what that might mean, and what kind of how I might write that animal character. So I wanted to make this video and talk about it a little bit and get my ideas out. And, you know, if you're interested, give me some feedback. You know, you can always subscribe if you haven't, or at the very least you can like this video, and would love to hear any comments you have about the idea of writing an animal character. Well, I guess we need to, I guess what I kind of wanted to do was talk about how to write this character. You know, there are lots of different examples of animals in fiction. I guess we could start with the classics like, you know, Watership Down, White Fang, Black Beauty, and Charlotte's Web. But I don't think I want to go in that direction, because that is a story from the point of view of the animals. And I think what I would rather do is have a character that is really would not come from the point of view of the animal, because I think when you do that, you know, they're automatically using English language. They're speaking, you know, even if it's in their mind, they're kind of coming from the point of view of a human. And I sort of didn't want to take that approach. I would like the animal to be seen the way we see animals, which is, you know, we view them, we view their actions and their behaviors, but we don't really 100% understand why they do what they're doing, because they can't talk to us. And I think if I write from the point of view of the animal, then you automatically, you know, take that away from them. They're what makes them an animal, and what makes them mysterious to us in many ways. The other thing I do not want to do is to make the animal character the catalyst character. For instance, Jaws, Moby Dick, or even if you think about the puppy in the John Wick films. You know, he started out, it's a character that propels the story forward. I would rather have the animal, whether it's a cat or a dog, or, you know, it could be a bear, it could be a mountain lion. I think a wild animal is going to be harder to pull off, but I want the character to be part of the ensemble of characters, rather than it being the catalyst to propel the story forward. Rather, it's reacting to the story. In much the way that, you know, if you think about Toto in The Wizard of Oz, even in the books, he is one of the few animal characters that doesn't speak. He's from the real world versus from Oz, so I think maybe that's part of it. I think in the later books, he did have the capacity of speaking, and, you know, I think he said something along the lines, "I just didn't feel like speaking." But I like the way that Toto is portrayed in both the film and the first couple of books, in that he is just another character. He's a dog, and he's just reacting to the scenarios and things that happen around him. You know, the one kind of pullback from that would be, you know, he in the movie especially, you know, Dorothy cries to him and says, "Go get my friends, get the Scarecrow and the Tin Man and the Cowardly Lion and bring them to save me," which, you know, Toto does. He runs off and he gets those characters and he brings them to the witch's castle. And you know, that sort of falls in line with something I call the with animal characters of the Lassie syndrome, where, you know, they can actually hear us speak and know what we want, which in real life animals don't do that. They have a feeling for what you are thinking and saying. They pick up on your tone and your emotion, but they don't really understand speech. And I think I want to avoid that kind of pitfall also. But it is important to me to have an animal character in my book. You know, I don't know why, but, you know, animals are such an influence in my life, and I want to bring that kind of character into my book also. I don't know if the character will survive. All characters are up for grabs in terms of life or death in Rivendoah, so I can't promise you that you might not fall in love with the character and that he might meet a tragic end, or she, or whatever the character ends up being. But you know, that is, I want to kind of throw that out there, is that all the characters in Rivendoah, you don't know whether they're going to make it, and a lot of them are not going to make it. I've already made that decision. I'm not sure exactly which characters. I pretty much know in the first book, but you know, every character is expendable to the story. Anyway, I guess that kind of wraps it up for today. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do for my next video, but stay tuned and check in about a week or two, and I should have my next video up. And again, if you really feel like you like this channel and you're interested in the topics that I'm talking about, please subscribe and give me a like. And you know, I love the idea of having interaction, you know, and creating a community around the idea of Rivendoah and the writing of it, and hopefully people will and the readers of it, and people will come here because they have read it and are interested. So anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Meantime, I'm going to finish this coffee.